I'm actually able to get in a bit here. I don't know where I put my pickaxe, but yeah, this. What do you know? I did not think this would work. Hey, it's Greg here with MaritimeGardening.com, and it's been cold and stormy and snowy and overcast and not very sunny the last week, and it's been cold. It was like minus 17 Celsius this morning when I woke up. We've had a couple nights like that, and it's just been cold lately. So I thought I'd come out here and check to see how well the soil in the bed that's underneath this dome, whether it is frozen. I got some carrots in here. And I didn't get them out before freeze up, and there's lots of different methods for keeping stuff out and in the ground but still accessible. Most popular one is putting all kinds of bales of hay on it. I thought, why not use these domes and see how well they work? Not very optimistic, because it's just there hasn't been a lot of sunlight, right? You need, like, these really don't insulate the bed. They allow them to heat up if there's sun, so not too optimistic. I'm gonna guess that I can't get them out of the ground, but let's have a look. You know what? I'm actually able to get in a bit here. I wonder where I put my pickaxe, but yeah, this. What do you know? I did not think this would work. I mean, the soil has got frost in it. You know, it's in chunks and pieces and stuff like that. But I can get in here. Let me bring the camera in a little closer so you can see. Yeah, so here we are. As long as you can get your stuff out of the ground, your system's working. Now, I was careful before freeze up too. I find with these beds, I mean, they're slightly raised, 6 inches high. I find the very outer edge always freezes up really hard. So I made sure to harvest all the carrots all the way around the edge, but I left the ones in the center. I did the same thing over there with my parsnips. But I mean, for me, if you can get your stuff, and there's nothing growing in here. It's not like these carrots are continuing to grow. The ground's the top 3 inches are frozen. I mean, I can get in. That's the main thing. I bet you these are darn good carrots. It has been cold and miserable all week. We've had storms. The schools have been canceled mostly everywhere except exactly where I live, much to my children's chagrin. But this seems to have worked. That's great. I mean, because it's a bit of a pain to have to harvest everything in it's a lot easier just to leave everything out, for sure. That's enough carrots for tonight's dinner, right? That'll do. So I'm going to leave the rest of these out here, and maybe next week give them a try. It's the middle of January right now as I record this video. Now I should speak to technique a little bit. So I mean, every time we had a good snow, I had to come out here with a broom and brush these off so that the sunlight could get in, whatever sunlight there was. And I also made sure I didn't get the snow out of here. I would just sort of jam the snow all around the edge to make sure it was sort of sealed in, right? So we don't, trying to basically insulate the edge, right? Because it's going to lose heat around the edges. So I would just push the snow off to the side, and I'd leave snow, even if it was up a little bit over the edge like this, right? Just to keep the whatever heat is being generated in here by virtue of the sun shining through the plastic onto the soil, right? To hold that heat in as much as possible to keep it from, everything is frozen, right? It was minus 17 last night. It's been like that for a little while. And even the nights it has been minus 17, it's been minus 5, that sort of thing. And it's been overcast and not sunny and all that sort of stuff. So it's been, everything's frozen. The lakes are freezing, right? Everything's getting cold. It's middle of January. Let's try another bed and see slightly different technique I use with that. Let's see if I can get into that one. All right, so this bed I had this this wooden box type deal here. See if I can properly dome this thing. There's ice forming here. But let's see what we got here. Yeah, there we go. So, can't I get into the ground? Absolutely. Soil's workable. Unbelievable. Because it is cold and the ground elsewhere is frozen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You know, it's winter and the ground is frozen. There's some carrots. This is a different variety. These ones are sort of like a short stubby variety, right? Which generally speaking aren't my favorite, but for this bed they worked okay. I was just trying a different variety here. Anyway, I got enough. Holy smokes, look at that guy. I got enough carrots for tonight, but just for the sake of pulling a few more out of the ground, seeing what we got. Seems to have worked. There's a nice looking one. See, just how I can smell them. Just a different type of carrot, kind of more short and stubby, almost beet-like, like a Detroit, or no, a cylindrica. Anyway. So just one more use for plastic domes, these kind of like little, you know, I don't know what you'd call. Oh, this is sort of like a hot box or a, you know, portable cold frame or whatever. Right? Aside from their really good use for getting, you know, direct seeded plants started a little bit ahead of season, or even heat-loving plants started ahead of season, you can postpone the harvest of certain cold-loving vegetables into the fall. And at least so far, middle of January, minus 17 last night, and you know, we've had a couple nights like that. It's certainly been below zero for days, and it's been not very sunny and that sort of thing. We've had snowstorms and all that jazz. So far anyway, seems to be able to extend the accessibility of the garden into the winter with better results than I've had with cold frames. So anyway, hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com. And until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.